Hello, everybody. Today we have Dragon Tan to come back again. I haven't seen him for a few months now on my video channel, right? Yeah, very sad. So, sir, no, where have you been, man?
Okay, hello everybody. Wow, okay, I miss all of you. 今天是金博赢 The last few months was like it's very busy, overly packed. Every day I work until 2, 3 a.m. doing a lot of planning, a lot of training for my team as well. Apart from coping my own individual sales, doing a lot of project marketing as well. For not only for myself, this time around is for my team. And that's why always see that I'm having a sleepy eyes, a bit of eye bag with me. So paiseh.
Time to use my skincare.
Definitely,
Yeah,
definitely,
my
so yeah.
skincare products. So before we go into your interesting career right now, but I think it's important, right? I think there's a lot of interesting development in the property space. I think we'll today cover quite a few things. Number one is how the latest property market is in the various segment, and second is that Prime Minister Lawrence Wong just make some announcement. Do you think there will be impact, and how should people navigate, right? And then in the next video, we will switch to. I think a lot of people are now facing midlife crisis, and there are a lot of people interested in switching into a real estate job and things like that. You are the best person to give some advice, and I would like them to hear some of your advice. How about that?
Okay, true.
Okay.
Anything you want to ask me?
Yeah. Lots of questions, right? So, first of all, how is the property market right now, right? First of all, maybe you start with HDB, then with condo and maybe landed property.
Okay, for the HDB market, I guess that a lot of you have been following the news. We have more and more HDB breaking 1 million, but this is not the majority. Trust me, majority are not hitting 1 million.
Just 900,000.
The 1M HDB are those that are probably in the prime area. All right,
No,
mostly are in the prime area.
my chicken also broke almost 1.2 already.
Yours is the EM, Jurong East is a CBD as well. It's one of the sub-regional center.
Okay.
So it's the second CBD that we have. So definitely the demand for here is a lot. And of course, EM, given that the supply is not in abundance, they stopped building the EM since many years back. So of course, we see last year we see over 1,000 units of HDB hitting 1 mil. The year before was 400 plus.
Yeah.
But why was there a jump? Because you remember back then during one of our video coverage, we talked about the 15-month time bar for the private property owner. So these are the group of private property owner. After dispose their private property, they've been waiting for the 15 months.
解放了.
So that's why you see all the so-called the ghosts coming in. 妖怪 it's not 妖怪.
妖怪.
Yeah. And they start to buy the HDB.
I see.
And pushing up the price.
So
in the prime area.
These are the private property downgraders, so to say.
Majority will be.
And they're filled with cash, right? Generally.
They can be the landed owner who sold their property probably at 4, 5 mil, 8 mil. So for them to buy a property that's 1.5, 1.6 million is some soy.
Yeah.
Yes. So we're going to expect a lot of them are the private property owner.
Okay.
Correct. And okay, what happened is that that's the HDB market. So HDB market is very important because it will affect how the mass market condo move as well. If the HDB market is moving up, the mass market condo will also be going up proportionally. There'll be a correlationship between them.
So going back to HDB again, we talk about those $1 million HDB. I understand. What about the non-$1 million, the 4 rooms, the 3 rooms within CBD and outside CBD? What's the general trend now? Is it just the high-end one that's going up? The rest
we have those HDB that's 3-room flat, maybe in Hougang area, Sengkang, Punggol, that's probably within 10 years or so. You mean the years of it's quite brand new, 5 to 10 years old is quite brand new. They're hitting 500 plus K.
3-room flat.
3 Sapang.
So
it's around 500.
But I always hear newspaper always say 700-800K and things like that. That's rare.
In the prime area like Tiong Bahru, you get 700 plus K easily. Redhill. So these are the prime area. Of course, prime area, of course, that is a city fringe.
They're not the norm
versus places like all the gang Gang Seng, Gang Chua Chu, Gang these are the outskirts, where the heartlander is.
Sure.
We call them the OCR.
I see. But they are going up and going up fierce, or is more or less the growth is slowing down? Is the demand still incredible high?
Quite strong because recently I still transact quite a number of HDB within 2 to 3 weeks after the Chinese New Year. I can feel that the demand on the newer HDB is still relatively stronger as compared to those older HDB. I think that the consumer as well as the buyers, they become more aware that they want to buy something that is new, so that is enough. The cycle is enough to outlast or outlast the loan. I mean the tenure itself is enough to outlast probably for the next 30 to 40 years without affecting the so-called the lease decay or affecting or their capital.
So actually, this is an important point. Later, we'll talk about the new announcement by Prime Minister Lawrence Wong on this lease decay. But let's go back to who are the people buying? Because three, four, 500, no, there's no three, four, five, $600,000, 700,000, 800. Who got this kind of money?
Okay, this is Singapore. We are not in a third world country. We are considered a developed country right now. If you already catch the median household income of 2023 versus 2024, in fact, the average household income or family household income actually increased to probably slightly above 11K. The top 10% is earning 34K. The top 20%, right, is earning around 23, 24K. So the household income is actually increasing. When the household income is increasing, it's actually no wonder why property price increase as well.
So it's basically Singaporeans getting richer.
They're earning more.
Therefore, they drive up property prices.
So it makes sense.
Yeah, it makes sense.
If of course the income, global economy not doing well,
Sure.
everybody income start to get declining or start to dip. People lost job, of course, property price will drop as well.
That is why we better be careful who we vote, right?
Yeah.
That's why we very careful who we vote.
We need to have a very stable government.
Yeah.
Because I was sharing with you just now, before the video, government cannot do. Because a lot of investor, a lot of those so-called the foreigner, they come here is because of the confidence in the stability of our government. So government stability is very important.
Okay, I did not plan this message. He himself came to a conclusion.
I'm not pro any party. For people who know me, right? So for the last 20 years, you know who do I support for. But after having see a lot of things over the last 20 years, the stability of government is very important.
So you switch camp. Switch idea, right?
No, this is after traveling overseas, I tend to appreciate what I have in Singapore.
This is a convert, Now we think, now we really think.
That is very important.
Yeah.
Because I was telling people and friends, government cannot do. Our government do, we do. So especially when we have properties in Singapore.
Yes.
Correct.
So, okay, let's go back. So HDB is really supported by a strong demand. And I assume that the supply is still tight because of the MOP period.
Okay, what happened is that government is having a tough job as well, trying to stabilize the price. What the government can do is to increase the supply. 20,000 every year. 5 years, 100K, 100,000 of BTO. But of course, let's not forget, it takes 3 to 4 years to build a BTO. So that's why the supply come much later. The actual genuine physical supply. I can have a BTO exercise. Singaporean can just apply for it. It's just that for people who for immediate needs, they have no choice but to go for a resale. But of course, government is generous. They have a lot of grant for the lower income bracket family who are qualified. And because a lot of times is where I think that we discussed this the last few round, the last few video over the last 2 years, when government increase grant, some seller may take advantage of the situation to increase price as well.
Yes. Okay. Well, anyway, so HDB, basically HDB market remains strong, whether is it prime or non-prime in that sense, right?
Correct.
So let's talk about condo right now. I'm sure condo you will talk about first the mass market and then the city and the city fringe.
Okay, for the resale, we still find a tight supply as well, but it depends on what are the room type.
Resale condo.
I'm talking about resale condo.
Oh, tight supply.
I think recently we have seen EC, resale EC like £100. The 5 bedroom is selling or transacted. It's not selling, it's transacted at 3 million. There was a profit margin of around 1.8 million, 1.7 to 1.8 million.
That's amazing, right?
It's amazing.
How many years?
It's just reached its MOP, 5th-year MOP. That was last December.
So, so from you buy to point you sell, 1.8 million.
So 1.7 to 1.8 million. So
wow,
it's
that's
just
amazing,
like
right?
you strike a big sweep or probably a lottery.
Yeah, Toto.
Yeah. So typically, because I'm an EC owner, not one but two. So I believe.
So you also got 5-room one, is it?
Mine is 2 units of a 3 bedroom.
Alamak, not the 5-room. Okay, still not 1.8, 1.7 million profit.
Yeah.
Okay, anyway, joke.
Okay, so typically the EC brings you the value. The only thing you need to exchange for is time. Just like you buying BTO, definitely there'll be a profit margin. The tendency is very high. It's just that you need to exchange for time. 3 years, 4 years to build, and 5 years MOP.
So I remember you did say in previous video, the best fastest appreciation one is not necessarily high-end condo. It's actually the EC and maybe even some of the other non-prime condo.
Okay. Of course, you want something that is very safe. It's just like buying S&P 500. Very safe. My top two recommendation is still the EC as well as BTO. Yeah, buying something that is undervalued or buying something that you have a lot of safety net, just like you buying S&P 500, which I think some of the 1M65 community did contact me. I always say, yeah, buying EC, buying BTO is just like buying S&P 500. You just need to wait, that's all. Now, that's a Warren Buffett philosophy. Just wait. Time is your good friend.
Yes. Wow. So actually EC is a right formula because in some sense they are subsidized or at least subsidized is the wrong word to use. They are by design meant to be affordable private housing, right?
Private housing. The last recent launch was Oral EC at Tampines. I was involved in it as well. I have 18 buyers. 11 are second timer. 7 first timer. So end day, right? Of my 7 first timer, 6 of them got it. As for the second timer, right? It's because a lot of there's a lot of restriction on the EC.
Oh, really?
For the ballot, the balloting was
it's a ballot.
It's a ballot. So
it's not
it
what
was
a buy.
700 plus unit, and it was we have 1,007 tickets. So-called
Who control the tickets?
The developer and the HDB.
Oh, both of them were there.
Correct. So second timer bopao you can get the unit. Wow, that's the sad thing.
Wait, second timer, what do you divide by second timer?
Second timer means that they have probably bought a resale we've run before. They have bought a BTO before. So they are considered a second timer in this EC application. So when it comes to balloting, they are under the second timer category. So what happens is that even if you have the front balloting queue, 380 or 400, popao you will get it because 30% on day one, that 200 plus unit, 228 units is meant for the second timer. Once the quota is filled, that's it. You have to leave the selection and the balloting center. That's the show flag. You have to come back 1 month later. But question is that this EC was sold 90% on day one itself. And
where's the location again?
It's at Tampines North MRT. It's a new township, part of the Tampines North.
I see.
Just beside the quite near to the Tampines North MRT.
Per square feet, how much?
1750 to 1850.
Oh wow. That's by today's standard okay price.
And imagine 10 years ago when I bought my EC, it was around 750 PSF. 10 years ago was 750. As fast forward today, it's around another $1,000 more.
Wow.
So I'm not selling anything, and I never meant to sell anything here. I always tell my wife, if 现在不痛几时痛, 10 years later, if you ask me the price will go up, go down, I can tell you one thing. Singapore is a small place. The confidence level in Singapore is very high. Among the foreigner, the investor, the price will only go up.
Okay. Yes. So, but I think that's of course for brand, or for newer flats and all this. And later we'll talk about old flats or what do you think. Okay. So really that's a very good tip. And people who have listened to him 6 months ago right now, and you'll be doing very well in this space.
I come back to the new launch. Just now I was halfway. So the new launch market, since last year, where there are 6 major launches: Tom Park, EOK, Nava Grove. Of course, we have Union Square, Sophia, One Sophia. And then before that was North Grand. The whole market is bullish. For Woodlands itself, unfortunately, I never prepared any slide for you all. But it's very simple. Just take a look at the Thomson East Coast line. There was one launch last year called the North Grand in October. It was sold at 84% within a 1 weekend, and selling as high as 2,000, 2001 PSF in Woodland itself. All right. And going down there, right, we have Lentor. Lentor just recently has Lentor Central Residences. I was surprised it was sold 94% within a day, from morning all the way until night time.
Wow.
So a lot of the launches, especially the OCR, they are actually so-called doing very well within the launch preview itself. During the preview as well as the launch date itself, 80 plus to 90%. It's all along the Thomson East Coast line. So and then we have the Chuan Park that was launched at Lorong Chuan, 80 plus percent as of today. And then EOK, Emerald of Katong, something that I want to buy with my wife.
Oh, wow.
Last year, November.
Want to buy or bought?
We really want to buy during that period of time.
Okay.
But back then, right? Back then what happened is because I haven't started to market her house. So the initial plan was to use her name to buy Emerald of Katong. We hope to stay there because we are Eastie people. So how do we know that within one weekend or one day itself, it was sold 99%.
Oh,
so there's nothing for us to buy. So we're feeling so upset that because we are Eastie people, my wife stayed in Tampines throughout she grew up there. So end up we went to buy Park Town, which launched in February.
Where's the location of Park Town?
Park Town is in Tampines North itself. It's integrated, but this time round it's not the Thomson East Coast line.
Okay.
It's the Cross Island line.
Okay.
In fact, I have did a wonderful so-called all the project launches along the Thomson East Coast line and Cross Island line. Anybody who is interested, just PM me. I'll be happy to share with you.
Sure.
So it's part of
I'll put his number somewhere here.
Okay.
Go reach out to him if you need any real estate agents, real estate services, and also if you want to have a career change as well, go look for him. And remember, don't look for me. Go look for him. Okay. I'm not in this field.
Happy to share with you more. So now talking about this Park Town, it was sold 87% within a night. So
a night.
It's an integrated. Integrated means that it's something like in the Jurong it's like Jurong Point. In the Punggol it's like Watertown or Waterway Point. Now, so in this place called Park Town is exactly above the Tampines North MRT. 1193 units. So 2,300 tickets or checks is being submitted. And I really stay with my team from morning 10 a.m. all the way until the following midnight, wee hours 1:30 to see all. And my team scored 19 units for Park Town. And out of 19 units, 5 units are bought by my team and agents, including me and my wife.
That means 你们自己买。
我跟我老婆一起买一间。
Yeah.
Matrimonial. And then 4 of my teammates also buy.
Oh, they buy themselves. What? Eat their own dog food.
So total we bought 19 units.
Wow.
Or we sold 19 units.
Of which?
I think we're one of the division, very strong division that we closed the most number of units at Park Town.
Wonderful. Okay.
It was 87% units. So now, what's the point of sharing all this? How many percent? I just want to share with the fellow community. Such phenomenon, it only happened during bull market. 80 plus 90%, 80 plus 90% is bull market. In a normal market, typically it's around 30 to 60%. But in the market like this, 80 to 90%, right, is considered bull market. And that is why recently whatever is being launched in the market, it was sold 80, 90%. The recent government land sales, Bayshore, there's one at Bayshore, MRT. It's one of the new township. There's a new condo coming out. The land price was $1,380 plus. That is exactly the same price as one Marina Garden. One Marina Garden is around 1,004, which is launching 2 days back. Is it 2 days? No, it was launched yesterday.
I see.
So right now, the OCR, so-called Bayshore, the land price is almost the same as something in the Marina South area.
Wow.
Because developer also kanjong already. They start to outbid each other.
I see.
And then if you ask me would there be any government measure coming forward? I think yes, why not? Because there's been around 18, 19 measure since 2010. So I'm not surprised.
I don't think so before GE.
GE.
Yeah, I don't think so.
I think the result of GE is very important.
I also think so.
If the GE, right, our Cuban government don't perform well, they may have a very harsh government measure. Because it happened before, after the 2011 GE, where we lost, where the Cuban government lost Juni GRC.
Yeah.
We lost George Yeo, a good minister.
I see.
And then following that, this from what I observe, I'm not a policymaker. Following that, there was a very harsh property measure called the TDSR, ABSD, everything all go up.
Oh, it came from there.
And then the market was quiet for 1-2 years.
I see.
So
I never
it has been happened before.
I've never associated GE wins and losses with property measures.
Okay, because
Naturally, right? Because the government will see that people really want a cool down market, so they use the G outcome as a gauge for that.
but Sifu, I mean, to be honest, if let's say I'm the government, of course I'm not the government, I'm a small fry, sui ka. If let's say the people are unhappy with me, they reflect in the GE result.
I better do something.
I have to stay in power, right? For the
Yeah.
next few terms, right?
Sure.
I don't want to lose my power.
Sure.
So I have to do all ways and means to make people happy.
Sure.
But if let's say doing all ways and means to make people happy, right? I may sacrifice the growth of Singapore. Also not right, like. Because Singapore still have to grow. We have to
Of course.
we have to survive in the midst of competition,
Sure.
the global market.
Sure.
But of course, this one we're not going to discuss in depth.
Sure.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right.
So that's the prime. So in short, it's just bull market in property, whether it's HDB or condo or whatever.
I don't see the price dipping.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, it depends on what is the unit type that you buy.
Mm-hmm.
The more unit type that's in demand are the 3 and 4 bedroom, as well as the 5 bedroom.
Not small studio, 1, 2
Mm,
bedroom anymore.
Studio is where people they buy for rental yield.
Yeah.
It's just like you buy REITs for
Yeah.
rental yield, good yields.
Sure.
But for capital appreciation, people go for the bigger unit, 3 bedroom, premium, 4
see.
and 5. You really see something at the end of the day.
I see.
And statistically, over the last 3 to 4 years has proven the bigger unit has better return.
What about rental market right now in Singapore? How is it right now?
Rental market is still quite stable. The 1 and 2 bedroom units are easier to rent, that's for sure. Very stable. It's unlike 2 years back where there's an abundant supply in D19. Wow, okay, where we have too much supply within one particular district, the rental will get slower or you will just dip. Right now, it's stabilized.
Oh, it's stabilized. So,
Correct.
so COVID time, wow, the rental went up crazy.
Crazy.
Then a lot of the units came out, then it went down. So now more or less stabilized.
It depends on where are the units that's been TOP.
Okay.
If let's say we have a lot of units that's been TOP in D19 back then,
Sure.
definitely the rental in D19 will start to soften.
Sure.
Places like Clementi, Jurong West, where there's not much of a supply, the rental is still very solid.
I see.
I actually ran out one in Clementi. The response is so good among the NUS high student, NUS, SIM students, because it's like a tertiary town.
Sure.
And there's not much supply in Clementi itself.
Then where is 3?
2 years ago, D19 very tweaked because
is
too
it?
many units that's been TOP, few thousand.
What about now?
Now not too bad. Now has
Everywhere is okay.
Things are the supply, whatever is a balanced supply or they cannot be rented out at a point in time is all taken. So right now, things has been much better. You have better response for rental.
I see. That's very good. Okay, so more or less, on the sales side of things are still going strong. The rental market is stabilizing. I think that's great. Now let's transition. Oh, yeah, a quick word on landed property. There's quite a lot of rich 165 followers at the top of landed property.
Okay, for landed property wise, right? I don't see any prices dipping. Still very solid. If the HDB and the condo is solid, the landed
it flows up.
No, it's just that landed my personal sharing here.
Sure.
And for maybe some of the community big brother, big sister who are landed owner, I think you know what I mean. I have quite a number of landed owner as well. Relative for a landed owner. Typically, sometimes when I tell them about condo, my uncle will tell me, because my uncle, he own few landed. He say, mai liao sikan lah. Don't talk to me about condo. Don't talk to me about new launch. I just want landed. Because they feel that they have land. They have level 1, level 2, level 3. The GFA or gross floor area is 4,000-5,000 square feet. Make them feel so good value for money. I also have a landed owner who I know my distant relative came to me saying that back then they bought a brand new landed by one developer, quite well known, doing interior design. But this is their first and last project. Because there was too many defects.
I see.
What happened is that the car porch that was ceiling, I think the waterproofing wasn't so well done. So what happened is that it gets so heavy that the car porch actually collapsed and fall on top of the car.
Oh, wow.
So I was asking him, wow, luckily, look at Amma, right? It's not at the car porch. If not, she'll get hurt. He said, go lah, see me get hurt. She will be dead lah. Yeah. And then what happened is that landed has this kind of issue, waterproofing issue. pest control.
Maintenance 凶
It was until when his landed was sold, this distant relative,
Sure.
he told me the reason why they sold is because every time they inject chemical, 8,000, 10,000, the waterproofing goes to the other corner and go to the other corner. So they actually explore with ID what to do next.
Okay.
The ID tell them you have to demolish and re-erect. And what happened is that the final ultimatum why they sell the landed is because of termite.
Ayo. In
Termite.
Singapore got termite meh?
Termite, they migrate
Everywhere.
from place to place. There's no way to control.
Is it?
So I was laughing because the landed was not sold by me, somebody else.
Sure.
Sometimes our relative, I don't do their business.
Sure.
I have
Yeah,
just like Mr.
relative.
Lu, we don't do relative or very, very good friend business. We don't do.
Try not to do.
Yeah, because too close for comfort as well.
Sure.
So I was laughing. So I said, wow, so the buyer also don't know. He said, yeah, the buyer don't know. There's this termite issue.
Oh my
So
goodness.
landed has this kind of issue. Another one is recently a friend who came to me. They bought somewhere in Bedok area, the landed. I think very sian because he was telling me back then when he saw this landed, right? Wow, it looks quite okay, renovated. A has been done. But eventually he bought a unit at 4 mil plus. Eventually he stayed. He found that over the last 2.5 years, right? Wow, there's this waterproofing issue. And then they get somebody to check. Wow, they open up the false ceiling. Then 看上去, right? You know, because it was waterproofing issue, so the previous owner is very smart. They put a wooden plank on top of the false ceiling to absorb the moisture.
I see.
Until they find that something wrong with the house, they start to find a few pieces of the wooden plank around few corners of the house.
Oh.
So the house started to have a waterproofing issue, a pest issue, at times where the electrical circuit, right, will just so-called go circuit breaker by itself.
So your point is maintenance of landed house sibei xiong.
If you buy a resale, of course you have done up.
I know how that feel.
You need 1 to 2 years, and then 2 years probably you need to stay elsewhere or rent elsewhere if you don't have a house. Yeah, I mean, especially if you are buying something in Singapore, to avoid the ABSD or don't want to pay, you need to sell your current one, rent 2 years. You buy a resale, sometimes the previous owner may not tell the marketing agent.
Of course
so
they wouldn't.
They won't tell.
Yeah.
The agent also don't know, honestly, because it's all hidden.
Sure.
And then end up, the one who hop the musical ball, right, they have to face all this daily, weekly, monthly situation. 跳点, the electrical circuit, just circuit breaker, pest control, waterproofing. So this is from the few landed owner that I come across in Singapore itself. And then if let's say you want to buy landed, a semi-D, you bought the original building on land for 5 years, you want to rebuild with a pool by the side, a small pool by the side, easily 2 million for reconstruction, 2 years rebuilding time. So the kind of sunken cost, like tahan.
You know, I built I've got a landed house in Malaysia, and now I finish the renovation, and I'm living there quite regularly when I'm back in Singapore. I just realized the cockroaches like to visit landed house. And I've got nothing there to eat. I don't eat a single food there in the house, nothing for the cockroach. I come back home, there are 2 or 3 cockroaches running around, and just a lot. I mean, in HDB we don't see that now. So it's a shocker. And some people say, oh yeah, cockroaches nothing. Where do you see rats running around? Things like that. So okay, anyway, I think this is great feedback on what's happening in Singapore on all the sectors. This is probably a time to transition to what I think the government policies are. And I want to ask you for your feedback. But this is probably a time for the next video. We take a pause here and let's watch again in the next video. Remember, hit subscribe so you don't miss his video. And I think today we'll do a 3-part series or 2-part series to let you hear some of the very interesting feedback that he has. Okay, thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next video. Thank you. Bye.
Bye-bye.